Welcome back. It's newspaper review, and as it's a tradition, we'll begin with the Daily Trust. The Daily Trust has its major story from the Senate. Senators' monthly pay hits $2 billion. That's huge. Each senator gets $21 million per month as running cost, and this is coming from Kawu Sama'ila. A principal officer's package still unknown. I wonder why it's a mystery to know how much public officers earn in this country. Adjust your earnings, giving masses realities. Syrup, yaga, and cherries, all they are calling on the National Assembly. You find the details of the story on page 4. To other stories, hardship, academic activities suffer as varsity students take menial jobs. Why Jigawa tops in wheat and sesame production, Governor Namodi. African Union appoints Patami as co-chair of 4th Industrial Revolution Policy Council. Farmers express concern as drought threatens plant growth. Page 25 for more details. Police interrogate journalists over report on XDG's office. And mother of 4 hit by stray bullets during protest seeks justice. And one of the most interesting stories, they're also coming from the National Assembly this morning. Speaker bows to pressure, withdraws bill on new national anthem recitation. Talk about priorities in Nigeria.
Talk about priorities in Nigeria. Now moving to the Guardian newspaper. 39 dams moribund over poor maintenance and obsolete equipment. Now we also have WHO declares Mpox outbreak a global health emergency, still on the Guardian. 18 die in 3 road crashes along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Now moving over to the CBN, we can no longer afford further hikes in interest rates, manufacturers warn, And then also government begins implementation of zero duty on selected food items. This is said, and we've been looking forward to it. Still on the Guardian, pressure mounts on Tinubu to sack oil sector chiefs. And Yusuf visits vandalized Kano. High Court says sensitive documents on Ganduje. Okay. Well, this and more you can all get on the Guardian newspaper.
Moving on to the Vanguard this morning. The major story there reads, hurdles ahead of CNG vehicle rollout. Investigation. And to other stories, anger greets reps, speakers withdrawn counter subversion bill. I mean, of all the things happening in this country. Outrage as Senator Sama'ila says it earns 21 million monthly, and the Senate is mom. PMI report indicates slowdown in economic activities for the 13th month. That's according to a CBN report. FG zero duty grains import terminates December 31. Customs DG. We have taken action against Simon Ekpa's secessionist activities. Finnish government. That's some respect. And 2024 Olympics, frustrated cyclist who borrowed bike in Paris plans to dump Nigeria. This was coming.
All right, now moving on to the Punch. There, the major headline we have there says military deploys troops in northwest and north central farms. Still on the Punch, prices skyrocket as petrol scarcity bites harder. And power tariff ASU demands reversal. Varsity bills jump by 300%. Still on Punch, 149 Nigerians repatriated from Niger. And federal government inaugurates panel for Naira-based crude sale. And finally, we have on Punch, motorists lament traffic snarl as Julius Berger resumes work on Long Bridge. Well, this and more you can get on the Punch newspaper.
All right, to the These Day newspaper this morning. Lending rates to manufacturers rose from 28.6% to 35% in Q2 2024. Says continuous hike in NPR tightening condition for productive sector. And Naira will gain if Nigerian manufacturers own weapons, argues Defense Minister. I don't understand what that is. All right, to other stories, WHO declares health emergency over MPOS. And NSA attempts to disrupt peaceful conduct of the Edo Guba pool will be met with full force. This is reminiscence of the military era, you know. And FG approves implementation of zero duty VAT exemption on selected food items. New policy takes effect today, expected to crash food prices. That is if the foods are here, isn't it?
It has to be available.
It's not just about, gone are the days where things in Nigeria react to the president's body language. We don't do body language.
Question it now.
You know. And Keyamo leads delegation to Europe over Abuja's second runway project. Use that money and start land clearing, you know. All right, we have the picture there of Kola Adeshida at the 60th birthday there with the Olu of Warri, and that wraps it for us on the front pages of select national newspapers this morning. All right, that's the much the papers are offering this morning, you know, from the Senate to manufacturers complain. And nothing is saying anything about the president visits to Guinea. I mean,
Equatorial Guinea. You know, you were saying Guinea since morning.
There are several Guineas that you'll pardon me if I mix them up. It used to be one country, and then they split it into Equatorial Guinea, whatever Guinea. And I mean, he has arrived safely. He was received. The State Bank was yesterday. I've given you a headline. I'm not sure which newspaper you will situate that, but this is the much the papers are offering this morning. Do well to stop by any vendor close to you, get a copy, and keep this industry going. That's the much that we can afford on today's episode. Like I said earlier, thank you for giving us free access to your living room and to your mind, and I hope we have fed it with very quality meal this morning that will help you have a successful day. I am Sunday Michael Ogu. Let's do this again tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. Top of the hour would have Ajish Shafer with sports, and then we'll also have business and news update. Do stick around on Trust Television, and we have a lot packed for you today. Thank you for joining us. I am Lilian Ogazi.